Questions?
There is not agreement between the governor and legislature on a consensus revenue estimate, so a couple of questions there. Where does your party stand on how much money the state should plan on having next year? And does that play into where you hope to see money come to the foundation formula? Do you think there's more money there that can be pumped into that, or where is that going to come from?
Well, first of all, I haven't seen the governor's budget proposal, but I assume that that is where his numbers are coming from. Look, I think we know that the House is going to, the governor's going to start with his number, and the House Budget Committee will start with their number. You know, if they want to go ahead and start cutting money from education, from fully funding the foundation formula, and not trying to trust the governor's number, then that's up to them. Then they can be in that position to go ahead and cut things from education. So, do I know which number is the absolute correct answer? I don't, and I don't think that it's fair to say that either one party does. But so.
From a position of minority with 52 members, you can't force much in the House of Representatives. So you're going to have to rely on public pressure in some ways for the Republicans. What do you intend to do that would be different from what happened last year on Medicaid that would create that pressure for them to move ahead on this?
Well, first of all, I think that there's enough people within the majority party that would vote for Medicaid expansion if someone in the Speaker's office had the courage to let it come to the floor for a vote. How are we going to know if no one will bring it up for a vote? The Chamber of Commerce in Missouri, as well as numerous chambers of commerce across the state, have come out more strongly in favor of this. You know, they realize that this is a huge job creation tool. Why is it that the majority only wants to listen to the business community when it suits their agenda? I don't think it's fair to say that they want to say that, okay, fine, we can't expand jobs in the state unless we do this. They've come out and said they think this is going to create 24,000 jobs. I mean, they agree with us. We're not always on the same page as the Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, but chances are, barring evidence of pitchforks, you're pushing the speaker into this, up to the dais to get a vote on that. How do you get that pressure on it?
Well, what we have been doing is we've been going, in the interim, we went around the state for quite a while. We went to different areas of the state, and we tried to inform the voters and the citizens that this is the right thing to do, and we're going to continue to do that. And as you said, it's up to public pressure to get these guys to do what they think. So,
just a quick comment too. I think as we start to see some of these hospitals start to close, I think a lot of our counterparts are going to have to rethink how they vote on this.
For the first time in history, BJC has laid off employees. I mean, if that's not an eye-awakener, I don't know what is.
Where would you like to see the minimum wage increase to? What's your proposal?
Let Representative Ward answer that.
Thank you, Jake. Well, first of all, it's great to be part of a team that is bringing common sense solutions to the table instead of what we heard in a very red meat speech from the speaker today that I think folks noticed that his own caucus was not excited about. We saw nothing but unenthused golf claps throughout the speaker's speech, and I think it's because it's an extreme speech that offers no bipartisan attempt to work with the governor to pass important legislation. And I don't think that's reflective of the speaker's entire caucus. So to confirm what my friend and leader said, I think we can advance issues like minimum wage. House Bill 1098 was filed in early December. It seeks to raise the minimum wage to $8.25 per hour. For tipped employees, it raises their percentage of the minimum wage from 50% to 60%. It also doubles the damages for employees who were not paid properly under the minimum wage statutes. So it very closely mirrors the petition initiative that just fell a few signatures short of getting on the ballot in November 2012. And it's common sense legislation that I think Missourians of every stripe can agree is good for our state and good for our economy.
Do you keep the COLA on?
Keep the COLA, yes.
Last year, Representative Barnes worked on an alternate Medicaid proposal that would include a smaller increase with some market-based reforms mixed in, and he's been working on that over since the last session ended. Is that something that House Democrats could get behind?
I'm absolutely willing to sit down with Representative Barnes and discuss proposals. But, I mean, the Speaker created special interim committees. So did the Senate. So tell me now why, after we have been working on this the entire interim, that all of a sudden it's just not going to be brought up. I mean, why did we waste all the taxpayers' dollars having these interim committees if they weren't going to do anything? And the Speaker said in his speech that he was tired of the governor picking winners and losers as he did in the Boeing proposal. Unless I'm mistaken, I could have swore the Speaker voted for that proposal. So I'm confused on where it's going with that.
A question for some of your, maybe for some of your members with the education committees, but on the transfer issue, if there comes up an opportunity to leverage that with some of the other issues that Speaker Jones or the Republicans have been favorable for, are there any that you can see working with or using as leverage?
Well, first of all, I don't feel that we should be leveraging the children of the state on anything. They should be our number one priority, and educating our children in the state should be our number one issue that we're addressing this session. Without that, everything else falls by the wayside. So no, I don't believe that our children should be wagered. And there were bills last year. I filed a bill, and several of us did, and we were told that unless the Speaker's legislation was moved, ours wouldn't see the light of day, and it didn't. That's wrong. If we know something is going to provide good educational outcomes, that should be a priority.
What would you like? Do you have a proposal on the transfer law in terms of what changes your caucus supports on that law?
No, we don't have a, we've looked at the proposal that's being brought forward in the Senate. We think there's some good groundwork there. I think there's some changes that probably need to be made. But, and I'll let Representative McNeil speak to that. Oh, she's not here.
Representative McNeil does have, she's working on legislation. She's not present today.
I think there's some common sense things that we can start with. Like, I think that it's not out of the picture to say that the receiving districts can at least have some common sense way to set classroom sizes. Certainly, I don't think that they should be able to lower them the way some of them have, below the number of students that they already actually have in class. But I think that there should be some reasonable expectations to take in mind classroom sizes in those proposals. And there's some other things that we can work on, but it's a tough issue, as everybody knows. So, sure. Please.
I think one other point to understand it, it's worrisome to me that the Speaker said that the transfer issue doesn't seem to be a priority for him. Back in St. Louis, we have students that already lost their teachers this year. When they return to school after the snowstorm, they are going to brand new schools. Their school has closed. I cannot understand how that's good educational policy for our children.
Any other questions?